And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the Trackmania Grand League. It is step number 7. Coming up tonight, we are closer and closer to the end of the first Trackmania Grand League. We have 10 steps in total, and we have step 7. Coming up tonight with an absolute banger of a matchup coming up right here. And, as per usual, I am also accompanied by no one other than Mr. Radiance.
Good day, Riolu. How are you doing?
Hello, Radiance. I think I need to put you up a little bit louder, so everyone can hear your beautiful voice. I'm doing fine. What about you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I just hope that Dynasty can get a little more points than Mac got in Formula.
Yeah, indeed. Formula 1 was a little bit of a mess, actually, yeah. Not really super exciting of a match, so I hope today we're gonna have more crazy racing on the Trackmania racetracks. So yeah, step number 7, we have of course a bunch of new maps being played again. Have you taken a look at the maps, Radiance?
I have not had time, unfortunately, so it's gonna be a little bit of an interesting cast from my side today, I think.
Okay,
but,
okay.
I will learn them pretty quickly, I guess.
Alright, yeah, I think most of the maps should be kind of easy to understand. The maps, I would say, are of pretty good difficulty once again this time. We have, as I said, 2 new maps and the introduction map, so always for each step we have 3 new maps essentially and 2 reused maps. So yeah, the maps once again are, I would say, of moderate difficulty. Not the hardest ones. I think in step 6 we had a bunch of harder maps, but I think this week it's also going to be pretty interesting to see what the players are going to do. Especially the last one will be very, very interesting. But I don't want to spoil too much to, yeah, keep the hype a little bit intact for the last map, which is going to be very, very exciting. So, while the players are warming up, we are going to take a quick look here at the current score in the Trackmania Grand League. We have Carl Jr., who is, of course, the leader, the big leader, who is sitting here with 403 points. Pack right now on second with 278, so more than 100 points between Carl Jr. and Pack. Then we have Bren on third place with 147. Then we have a tie between Spam and Kappa, both sitting there with 132 points. Papu and Scrappy with 97. And then we have Cap with 92. So, yeah, I think we are actually gonna go live immediately. So, a little bit earlier than I expected, because it's not even 8. But we are already gonna start it off here on the introduction map. What you need to keep in mind, of course, for the Trackmania Grand League is that the players will be losing points starting from map number 2. As we see Kappa actually making a huge mistake already early on in lap 1 together with Dunster. Kappa even struggling to get to the ring checkpoint, and also Massa is off to a terrible start. So many mistakes being made here in the first round. But yeah, just to give a quick rundown once again for the rule set starting from map 2. The players who are on the red positions right here, they will lose the points that they have gotten beforehand. So if you happen to be on position 9 or lower, then you will lose all of your points. And that is a twist that is gonna happen right here in the Trackmania Grand League. But yeah, going into the map Radiance, we have crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, people crashing left, right, and center, especially that jump with the poles in the middle. It is very difficult to avoid them. But you have probably already noticed we are missing a player, and it seems to be Scrappy. Do you have any idea why?
I've been told that Scrappy doesn't have a PC available, so he can't play this week. Which is, of course, very bad, because that is the second step, I believe, that he's going to miss out on. So it's going to be pretty dangerous for Scrappy at this point. He really needs to, you know, pop in the good points in the upcoming steps.
Yep, definitely. And not really much to say on this one. It is a pretty basic map, but it has a couple of different difficult elements to it. It has the, of course, the wall that the front players are going up now. Where,
Pack.
What happened to Pack?
Pack with a little mistake there just before the jump, so he's going to drop down to 8th place. Many mistakes being made here this time. Very difficult map to get through, actually. As you said, you have this jump through the sculpture, which is very tight, Unfortunately, we didn't have the time to play the map preview because, yeah, we started earlier than I expected. Normally, we do start at 8 PM, but this time around, we started a bit earlier, which kind of caught me off guard. But, yeah, oh, Papu now the leader of the race with a mistake, but that could have gone worse, I believe. He could have really struggled a lot more, but now he's having a little struggle right here, getting himself through the ring checkpoints. So Roland will actually take over the lead now. He is in a fight with Bren for Team Solary. We have 10 laps, of course, you can see it in the top right corner. Roland in the lead, followed by Bren and Carl Jr. 0.3 behind right now. But yeah, Roland actually on first place. It never really happened that he really led a race in the Trackmania Grand League, and that was super close to the sculpture right there. So Roland definitely pushing it to the limits right here in order to be able to keep up. And now with a nose slide, and that is going to enable Carl Jr. to pass him from the double lead for Team Solary. And Roland now losing out on much speed. Made a little mistake there entering the dirt section. So from first to sixth within half a lap.
Definitely jinx Roland on that one there.
Yeah.
He was in first place. That is really unfortunate for him, but fortunate for the Solary players, as they're currently finding themselves in a 1-2 position right now. And it is not looking like there's going to be any mix-up on that one, as they are currently finding themselves almost 2 seconds ahead already.
Indeed. So, yeah, Solary really pushing it right here. Currently he's following Cap, who is in a fight with Spam. Spam, who made a mistake early on. He lost a bunch of time. And now he's up to fourth place in a fight with Cap for that third place, for the bronze medal. He's, of course, someone that can definitely make something happen, that can definitely do some damage here. Both of them can make use of some points right here. We are in lap number 8. This track turns out to be more difficult than I initially thought, because it is essentially quite a simple map, but if you happen to make a mistake at the sculpture part, then you just don't have the speed to really make it through the ring checkpoints on this banked surface, on the quarter pipe blocks. So that is what happened to most players who find themselves on the back. For example, Kappa and Massa, who find themselves on position 10 and 11 respectively. So they have made very, very big mistakes. And also Dexter, Danik B, Machi, and Zaburst. Zaburst actually getting overlapped as we speak. The two Solary players now clean sweeping the entire field right here. We can take a look at those two. They're fighting it out right here as they approach the final lap right here. Brand now going for a very low jump. Cuts the ramp on the dirt a little sideways to lower the airtime, which will actually grant him a little bit of an advantage. So he is right now a little bit ahead of Carl Jr., but Carl Jr. with a greatly executed section right there decides to release to land earlier in the slope to get more speed out of that landing. It is neck and neck here between the two Solary players. Carl Jr. versus Brand, they are neck and neck here entering the dirt section now. Brand almost landing on the barrier right there, and that will actually push him and give him a very, very good time advantage. Now the last jump coming up. If Bren survives this landing, he will win the race, and he will do so. Bren wins over Carl Jr., and then we have Roland, who snipes Bits on the last straight. Bits actually, I believe, with one of his best positions in the Trackmania Grand League. A 4th place for Bits is really, really good. Pack on 5th, Spam on 6th, Papu on 7th, Cap on 8th. Then we have Kappa on 9th, Dunster on 10th, Massa on 11th, Dexter on 12th, Danik B on 13, Machi on 14, and Zaburst on 15. Very, very unexpected outcome out of this race, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a unexpected outcome. I mean, with some of the mistakes on the little sculpture jump, if you make a mistake, you will lose so much time because you'll have to go up and down between each ring CP, and it definitely showed that some of the players not practicing that jump enough would make some mistakes there, and it cost them.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the identity of the track pretty much, that you have this jump through the sculpture. And yeah, mistake is really, really costly. And that was actually, yeah, catching a couple people quite to a surprise. But we are, of course, only one map through out of 5 in total. So every step in the Trackmania Grand League is being played on 5 separate tracks of 10 laps each. And now we're coming on map number 2. As I said before, it will now be very decisive. The players who find themselves on top 9 to top 15 in this case, normally top 16, but since Scrappy is missing out tonight, we only have 15 champions battling it out. So the positions 9 to 15 will lose all of the points that they have gotten beforehand. So as a quick example, Bren who got 20 points on map 1. If he now places himself on, let's say, 11th place, which is red, he's going to lose the 20 points, but he will gain points for that position that he achieved on that specific track. So, yeah, now on map 2, we will be playing Interlude by table, and now we will finally have time to play the map review. Amazing. Alright, so this is a map that you should be familiar with if you follow the Trackmania Grand League. We have played this one in Step 6 already. And this is the map where we have seen Massa with a really big mistake in Step number 6. This was the final track out of the 5, so that was pretty much the decider. And Massa, after having won map 4 and getting good points on the previous maps as well, he has fully crashed into the wall and found himself on a red position. So Massa has made a big mistake. Now it is the time to redeem himself. What do you think? Will he push it now for the rank 1 Radiance?
I think he has definitely trained the part where he crashed and flew out of the map a little bit more than the usual. And I think we will see Massa do great things here now in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, we actually have shorter warm-up time. That is actually new. Something that I just noticed. So we have a shorter warm-up time, which means that the players will have essentially a little bit less time to prepare themselves for the upcoming track. But yeah, we're going to start it off here on Interlude. In the first lap, we can maybe have a swift look at the points. We have Bren, who took 20 points, followed by Carl Jr. with 12, and Roland with 10,
oh,
and Zaburst with the first mistake. Lucky that we caught that one on tape. So Zaburst with the first mistake here. But yeah, the majority of the field right here is still intact here without any mistakes. Currently following Dexter, who is, yeah, underperforming in my opinion in the Trackmania Grand League. Not really sure
Roland?
What is happening. Oh, Roland!
Roland just stopped
wow.
in the middle of the loop and had to respawn. So he is now in last place behind Zaburst, and that is going to be a very tough battle uphill for him right now.
Roland now pulling the Massa pretty much. Roland, who got the 10 points before, and now finding himself 11 seconds between himself and the 9th place, or the 8th place to be precise. So Roland with a massive time loss already in the looping. I'm assuming he just went a little too tight and clipped one of the edges in the loop. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it, unfortunately. But
it looked like he just stopped driving in the middle of the loop. It looked really weird.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
I think we gotta take a look at a statement from Roland later on to see what really happened.
Definitely.
But yeah, we are on the way here. On lap number 2, we are currently following Kappa, who overtook Bren here on the platform section. So this track being pretty technical, pretty fast-paced as well, which essentially means that keeping the speed intact is especially important, because carrying the speed through on a track like this makes the difference in total. And this is what the players are, of course, opting for. It is a very close fight right here, actually, between Pac, Papu, Cap, Carl Jr., and also Massa. But Massa, who made a tiny blunder right there on the dirt section, now dropping down a bunch of positions. So he's now on position number 7 behind Kappa. So Massa not off to the greatest start. He's 1.5 seconds behind the leader. And it is right now actually the triple lead for Gamers Origin. Pac in the lead, followed by Cap and Papu.
Yeah, Pac already over half a second ahead. And as I say, that Cap has a really good section that catches up a little bit. But very solid performance so far by the Gamers Origin players. So we are going to, of course, see if they can keep up with that. But taking a look now, it seems like Masa has made a very big mistake, and he is finding himself now in 11th place. So really unfortunate stuff for Masa being in the red positions yet again on this map. But very fortunate for both Bren and Dunsty, where Bren now is able to...
oh, Masa with another mistake.
Points,
oh, and he jumps into the checkpoint, and he didn't even get it, so he can't just respawn. He needs to back off. He is getting passed by Roland now, so 2 big names in the red positions. Masa now down to 12th place. That is a big time loss for him, and once again a very depressing result on this track, essentially, because yeah, on step 6 he already found himself on the bottom positions, and now again with a big mistake. So Masa maybe tried to push it a bit too hard, and yeah, he got punished for that. So now Masa even down to last place. Masa, the German player, the German hope, now actually falling behind the burst, now on 15th place. That must hurt.
That must hurt indeed, but as we know, Masa, he is full risk and full reward. It is 100 euros or nothing for this man, as he's known for, and right now it is not looking like 100 euros for that guy, as he overtakes the burst. But in the top here, Cap has caught up to Pack by a lot, and Spam is also looking very nice now.
Indeed.
Seems like Papu has made a little mistake, but a wonderful battle for the top 5 positions right now.
Very close. It is not even a second between 1st and 5th place. So on a track like this, which is very hard to drive consistently, very hard to drive fast as well, we see these 5 players who are just doing a very tremendous job, none of them having made a crucial mistake, maybe like a small wall touch or a small no slide. But yeah, it even keeps Carl Jr. busy, and also Pack now making a small mistake, but it was not too bad of a mistake since he only lost, well, roughly a second. As you saw, you can lose a lot more. Masa doing a great example of that. A very negative example, of course, but yeah, that's how quickly it can go in this game. One big mistake and you just lose out on so much time. And these players are continuing to do very well. Pack with an insane dirt section right here before the multi-lap here, entering lap number 7. Pack now with the overtake back on Kappa, the 2018 world champion, now down to 6th place. But it is still incredibly close between the top 3. Spam and Carl Jr. Chasing down Cap, actually. Cap, someone that hasn't really led a race either. Cap usually being someone that is a little further behind, like on 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place. He never really won. So he could maybe take the first 100 euro for him. Keep in mind that if you win a map, you win 100 euro and of course 20 valuable points for the step ranking. And Cap is continuing to do very well, even though Carl Jr. now is coming very close. He has a bit more speed over the freewheel, over the back boost section, I mean. And it is absolutely close, Radiance. Look at this.
Yeah, what a wonderful map race this is right now. As you mentioned that it might be Cap's first victory right now, and last map I believe actually it was Bren's first victory of the TMGL, so good for him as well. And right now just look at Carl Jr. and Cap. Cap really battling it out right now. He really wants a sweet taste of victory right now.
Look at this.
But Carl Jr. is just not letting him out of his sight.
Man, they are neck and neck. They're literally equal at, with each other at the previously passed checkpoint. Carl Jr. now opting for the inside line, but he has to lift off. And that will enable Cap to go back to first place again. The back boost section now, the more speed you carry into this, the more exit speed you will have out of it as well. And Cap with another phenomenal dirt section. Carl Jr. finding himself 0.2 of a second behind right now, and it is lap number 9. Cap driving out of his mind right now, and Carl Jr. not able to come any closer right here. Cap actually extended his lead further and further. The gap is now 39 hundredths of a second. Cap is really completely driving out of his mind right now. I have never seen a Cap like this before.
If he could continue to perform like this, he would be able to take a lot of points. This might, of course, be a track that Cap has prepared for like a lot over the past week or two, and we will maybe see if he has prepared the rest of the map as good as he has prepared for this one. Because right now he is in first place, very close behind Carl, who has been dominating the TMGL so far, and then Pack has caught up a little bit as well in 3rd place.
We are now coming into the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Cap and Carl Jr. now about to overtake the Birds right here with another overlap. Carl Jr. with more speed entering the dirt section. Goes a little higher on the banking on the dirt. And he has more speed than Cap. And goes for the overtake. Cap with a very unfortunate bump after the transition from dirt to road. Carl Jr. will overtake that lead. But Cap is not going to give up yet. We are coming into the full speed section now. Cap holding a little speed slide over the dirt, carries a little more speed than Carl Jr. over this section. It is a 1/10 of a second right here. This drop is going to be very important, both with a flat landing, both getting the equal amount of booster right here. And now we're coming through the loop-de-loop, the final sector now, the final time. We're going through the cacti. Carl Jr. still with a 0.1 of an advantage, and he's not going to let that slip through his hands. Carl Jr. wins map number 2 with only 1200ths of a lead over Cap. Pack on 3rd, Spam on 4th, Kappa on 5th, Papu on 6th, Brand on 7th, Dunster taking 8th place, Danik B on 9th, and then we have Dexter, Masa, Machi, Bits, Roland only on 14th place. That is going to be a real downer for Pulse Roland right here, the Austrian player who got 3rd on the introduction map, now losing all of his points again.
Yeah, it sucks for Rolling to lose 10 points, but it is early on in this step 7 right now, so he will definitely be able to reclaim some points to his name. He is good enough and capable of that. Unfortunately, not finishing this one, so he will only have 0 points now.
Minus 10.
Really unfortunate, yeah. But Pack as well, you mentioned in, I believe it was lap 6 or 7, that he lost about a second with a wall touch. He finished 0.96 behind, so if he didn't make that one mistake, we could have potentially seen a very sick battle for top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very unfortunate right there for Roland, who's going to lose all of his points now. But as you said, we still have 3 maps to come, and maybe the players prepared a bit more on the later maps, since the map order is of course known. And I'm assuming that someone like Masa is gonna especially focus on the later tracks. This is something that he did in step 6 already. He was like, yeah, the first 2 maps, maybe I'm not gonna train those so much, but I'm gonna train and really pop it on the 3 maps after that. So maybe he's gonna go into this step with the same kind of mindset, and we're gonna be able to find out soon. Intertwine will be another map that we have seen in step number 6. So we're going to see this for the second and for the last time in the Trackmania Grand League. A map where a lot can happen as well. Map preview time. T-Tours in the chat. Alright, we have this track once again with the infamous water bounce. Can maybe have a quick look here with the free cam once again. The players now approaching it in the warm-up. So we have this water bounce, which is very, very important because, yeah, you come out of the sculpture where you have to ride on with as much speed as possible. So basically the turn before already decides the entire upcoming section. The more speed you get out of this platform section, the more speed you will be able to carry through the sculpture. And the more speed you have in the sculpture, the better your water bounce will be. And that will essentially be very good for the outcome of the lap as well. So this part, very, very important, but a lot can go wrong here. It is not an easy track whatsoever. Also, the blue parts right here, where you do have grip as opposed to the grass. You don't want to touch the grass because that's where you don't have grip. On the blue part, you do have grip. So you will see the players drive on the blue section right there. Very, very difficult map. And we are going into map number 3, with Carl Jr. being the leader right now with 32 points, and his teammate Bren with 25. Then we have two Gamers Origin players with 17 and 16 points, Spam on 5th, Papu on 6th, Kappa on 7th, and Dunster on 8th place. We are following Roland right now, the unfortunate player from the second map who is off to a mediocre start at best, who is already finding himself multiple 10th behind the leader of the race, which is Pack at this point.
Pack and Masa right now looking pretty solid. Masa did insanely good in the warm-up, but of course warm-up is not in the live game, so we will see how it goes down on these 10 laps. Currently in the lead though, and has a little less speed than Pack, and that will definitely scale up here on the sculpture as Pack catches up to him on the water balance, and they are neck and neck again. But only Roland has made and Machi has made 2 big mistakes so far. Roland again 10 seconds behind already.
Roland.
So, that is another very tough challenge for Roland to catch up right now. Definitely unfortunate stuff for him. I don't know if he's having a good mental right now, but that is definitely something to look out for on the next couple of tracks, I guess. Roland making mistakes in the start.
Yeah, I mean, Roland definitely seemingly being in tilt right now after that mistake on map 2. Now making another one very, very early on, as we see Bren actually falling down a bunch of positions. But that wasn't too big of a mistake here. He is on 12th place, but he does see all of his opponents right in front of him. Oh, Kappa with a respawn, ladies and gentlemen. Kappa has to respawn just in front of the crucial section. Not sure what he's gonna do now. Is this actually gonna work out for Kappa? He is going for the sculpture, even though there is a safe route available in case you have to respawn. But yeah, Kappa will have a hard time catching up from that deficit. He's gonna lose more than 10 seconds with that easily. So, yeah, Kappa about to lose 10 points here as well. And Bren also right now finding himself on a red positions. But as I say that, he does overtake Dexter, who made a mistake on the blue part. And I see Bits also jumping, jumping to the safe line, to the safe approach to the left right there. So also a little bit of a time loss for Bits will allow Bren to go up to 9th place.
Yeah, Bren up into 8th now, and is looking to at least secure his 25 points. That is something you definitely don't want to lose right now. But currently still in the lead is Carl Jr. Where did Masa go? He probably had
He's down to 5th
small
place.
Mistake. He is 2 seconds behind, yeah. So a small mistake by Masa somewhere on the track allows Carl Jr. to safely be up in his first position right now, as we've seen him a couple of times before. And Pack in 2nd as well. About 0.8 of a second behind right now.
Yeah, Masa made a little mistake on the blue part, I believe, in the previous lap, which cost him a lot of time because that is a very fast-paced part of the track as well. So Masa down to 5th place, and gotta keep in mind that he won this map in the previous step. So he did cash in his first 100 euro in the Trackmania Grand League after making the appearance for replacing Sky, who was disqualified after step 5. So Masa right now only on 5th place, which is not what he wants, and he's certainly pushing it right here. I'm currently having the camera on him. He does close in to Papu and Spam. Spam, who got a very, very bad drift to the left onto the platform. So that is just how important it is to get the speed in that turn. And that will immediately cost him 1 position. Spam down to 5th, and Masa now also approaching Papu. Very risky jump by Masa, almost hitting an obstacle on the right side in the air, and goes for some very tight drift. So Papu versus Masa right now, the fight for the bronze medal. But Masa with a superior section right now, even though Papu now with more exit speed. Neck and neck going onto the blue part here. Papu with more speed and will temporarily keep himself in front of Masa. But Masa certainly not going to give up yet. We are only halfway through, and Masa with a really risky line went fully onto the dirt on the exit, and Papu had to lift off right there. And Masa now with a little mistake right there. A little time loss right there. Not sure how he got that exactly, but he is going to go from 3rd to 5th place as for now.
Yeah, I believe he might have clipped the outside of the wall there on his entry to that blue part. And unfortunate stuff for him, but not too big of a time loss, as it is generally a pretty slow area. And slowing down your car there is not too big of a deal, as you're going to do it anyways. So only a 0.4 of a difference in the top now, 0.6 now. So very good start-finish section by Carl. Is between these two players, and they are looking really solid once again in this week. As Carl is just beating through the pace here right now. Taking every single corner is so smooth and so quick.
Oh, Massa! Massa hugging the wall. The same place again. Exactly, the same place. Massa losing another 2 positions. He's now down to 7th place. Massa was pushing it a bit too hard right there, and he does get punished once again. So after winning, he's now only on 7th place. Massa really losing out on precious points right there, and the points that he desperately needs. As I said, he jumped into the Trackmania Grand League after step 5, so he doesn't really have a lot of opportunities to gather enough points in order to be able to qualify for the playoffs of the Trackmania Grand League. After step 10, only the top 8 will qualify for the playoffs, and Massa, in order to reach that, needs every single point that he can get. Cap, by the way, actually dropping down to 12th place. I had a quick look at him earlier. He must have made a massive mistake. 8.4 seconds behind 8th place, which is Dunster right now. So Cap, after taking 2nd, maybe a little overconfident and made a massive mistake somewhere on this track. Now on 12th place and looking to lose all of the points again. Also, that is going to hurt a lot for Cap, since he was definitely on a steamroll right there, almost defeating Carl Jr. on the previous map, and now losing the point. That is really a psychological thing that I hope is not gonna impact Cap's performance on the upcoming 2 maps.
Yeah, and as you say that, Dynasty actually has a pretty big no-slide on that platform before the sculpture, so he will lose a lot of speed down to Kappa, who is trying to secure himself those 10 points right now, and is closing in real quick as we are on the way with lap number 8 right now. It's, Carl and Peg, they seem to be gaining and losing all over the place, and it is about half a second down to Peg now from Carl, as Spam overtakes Papu with a better jump trajectory, and has a better tech part. And let's see what Papu will do now in order to catch up to Spam, who has a great exit.
Yeah, Papu oversteering a lot there on the blue part, so he's gonna lose out on more time. Spam now extending the lead that he's gotten already. And we are coming closer to lap number 9. Now Spam, this part gets it very well. You can clearly see how wide he goes to maintain as much speed as possible. Spam definitely doing pretty well here, as we see a position change on the left side. You can also follow that on the Twitch chat right there. So we have Dunster versus Kappa right now. Dunster, who has 7 points, Kappa with 10, and they're both fighting for the hot seat for the last place on the green part of the scoreboard. Kappa now, however, getting more speed out of this part. Dunster having a bunch of bumps right there, which do slow him down. So Dunster now losing out on a little speed. Kappa able to extend his lead, and also continues to do so. Dunster really wants to make something happen, but I believe against someone like Kappa on a track like this, that is going to be pretty difficult for Dunster, who is more of a dirt expert on this track, of course, offering pretty much no dirt part really. So gonna be difficult, but then never say never in this video game. Anything can happen, Radiance.
Anything can happen. We might see someone else in the top 8 make a huge stop before the sculpture, and that will really bum them out with about 10 seconds, and then they will be in the red part of the scoreboard. But as we go into the final lap now, Carl Jr. is still in the lead with about a second down to Pack, so it will be really interesting to see if Carl can keep up his pace now, as Spam finds himself 2 seconds behind number 2. So he will probably settle for 3rd, if not Papu catches up to him, as it will be a very tough challenge to catch up to Carl and Peg. They will definitely have to both make mistakes in order for that to happen, but currently Carl is looking very strong. Yeah,
I mean, look at the gap. It is very unlikely that Carl Jr. is going to throw away 0.84 of a second right here. The only thing that can make it happen is a no-slide here in this corner, but Carl Jr. of course being experienced enough to avoid that. So Carl Jr. and Pack continuing their dominance and looking to win another 1-2 right here. Carl Jr. looking to take the next 100 euro for his pocket. I wonder, like, his pocket is going to explode at some point. He's getting so many of those 100 euros. It's actually ridiculous. Carl Jr. winning this race gets another 20 points, followed by Pack, followed by Spam, followed by Papu, Massa, Bren, Danik B, And Dunster, who keeps himself in front of Kappa. I mean, never say never, and it did actually happen. Unbelievable. Dunster defeating Kappa. So Kappa must have made quite a big mistake somewhere in the second half of the last lap in order for that to be happening. So Kappa down to 9th place, and he's going to lose 10 points, which is also quite a lot, considering that Kappa can certainly fight for those top 3 positions sometimes as well, depending on the track.
Yeah, actually, Dunsty not even realizing he overtook Kappa in the last minute until we told him in chat, so that's kind of interesting. Subburst with another DNF, that is really unfortunate. Roland just about makes it, and I'm actually trolling. He didn't make it, apparently. It looked like it on the scoreboard to the left, but he has 0 points, so he DNF'd this one as well. Really unfortunate stuff. But Spam, though, getting 9th place last week on this map, and then to taking home 3rd place, that must really be a confidence booster.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really going to be happy about that, knowing that he could have done better, and he did do so. Yeah, that is going to be really good for Spam, who now finds himself on 4th place in the step ranking. Carl Jr., of course, in a lead with 52. Bren, his teammate, with 31. So the double lead for Team Solary still being held intact, even though Pack is now coming dangerously close to Bren. Pack with 29 points. As I said, Spam on 4th, Papu on 5th, Dunst on 7th, Massa only on 7th, but then again, he can make something happen on the upcoming 2 maps. Danik B on 8th, Kappa on 9th, Bits on 10th, Cap, Dexter, Machi, Zubers, and Roland. Next track coming up right here, it is Twinnings by Bobby. It is a new map right here for you guys. Let's take a look at this very, very interesting track. Alright, so we have our new map right here, Twinnings by Bobby, and as you might have been able to see on the map preview, we have very, very difficult sections spread all over the map. For example, this jump right here, where you need to accumulate enough speed in order to be able to hit this little ledge on the spectator booth. If you don't, then you can opt for the left or for the right side, which is of course going to be slower. But the risky line, the fast line, will be the very precise landing here on the spectator booth. And then another jump in between the sculpture. And also another jump right here in between the pillars under the Trackmania Grand League sign. Very, very difficult map as well. So I do believe we're going to see plenty of mistakes, especially at the aforementioned sections, where one tiny offset, if you have a little bit too little speed, or if you're a little bit too imprecise, then you will simply not be able to pass that part. So map number 4 out of 5. This is now getting very interesting. We are going to start it off right here, 10 laps. Lap number 1 ongoing. Let's take it off right here. We're following Peck, who is on position number 3, and he knows that he can be on number 1 as well. So Pack definitely someone that can make it happen. This track can surely suit him, as it is quite a difficult map. Pack being someone that can handle difficult maps, that can handle being very, very, very consistent and fast on maps like this. But also Massa, someone that I probably will expect to do good here, because Massa, as I said before in this cast, actually goes to the left together with Kappa. So we see a bunch of different lines right here. Bits taking over the lead. And it is actually surprisingly close between the players that went through the spectator booth and the players who did not go for it.
Yeah, the players that didn't go for it, it actually looked like they tried to make a bounce to skip the freewheeling, and that might actually be faster because it minimizes airtime. So if you can do that consistently, that might be an interesting strategy to take home a good lead there. But at the moment, it is very close between Masa and Peck. Probably my two favorites right now for this track at least, because it is very tech heavy. But Bits though looking pretty good right now as well so far.
Yeah, Bit's doing very, very well actually. Let's take a look at him. The player from Lithuania, a player that we usually don't see up front. Now actually doing very well. He got a 4th place on map 1, then unfortunately lost the points again on map 2 and 3 with a 13th. Oh my god, was that Carl Jr.? Carl Jr., ladies and gentlemen, has made a massive mistake. He is actually almost unable to reach the checkpoint, as we see Machi actually completely dying into the wall. But Carl Jr. actually making a humongous mistake, 7.3 seconds down.
Down from 8th place, that is almost 9 seconds now up to Pack. That is going to be a difficult battle for him now to catch up to 8th place and keep those 52 points. Papu as well looking not so good down there in the red positions with 19 points, and Bren now making a small mistake with 31 points, so a lot of points to be lost here.
Indeed.
Right now, and the players would definitely not be happy with their performance if that comes to the point. And Roland making a nice
oh my god, Roland! Another big mistake here by Roland. As I said before, he's probably tilting and makes another mistake right here. The Austrian player, only with 0 points right now, finds himself on position number 10. But yeah, he's still ahead of Carl Jr., which is quite a surprise at this point. Carl Jr., who is, I believe, the only player that has never lost his points in the entirety of the Trackmania Grand League. He has never placed 9th or worse. Like, you gotta let that sink in for a moment.
That is insane.
That is absolutely insane. So it could very well happen right here, even though he did already gain more than 1 second towards 8th place, which is occupied by Bren. You can see it in the left side. So Carl Jr. 5.9 seconds, and we're not even halfway through. So I'm pretty sure that Carl Jr. will be able to capitalize on mistakes. For example, Bits, who is right up his sleeves right there, right in front of him. Bits lost many positions right there. He was on 3rd place temporarily, and now he's only on 11th. So very unfortunate happening right there for Bits, who had a very good chance at taking home very good points. And Carl Jr. continues to close in Radiance.
Yeah, Carl Jr. continues to close in because this is a map that is so difficult that mistakes are definitely going to happen. We see Bren here doing a little bit of jumps on that jump through the pillars, as was that
Dexter
going full into the wall on a freewheel section. So he'll go down into 12th actually, now down by about 13 seconds to the leader. And Roland is now up into 8th place. But look at Carl though, he's only 1.8 seconds behind now.
Yep.
So a map that will definitely have some mistakes by the players, but Carl just needs to avoid them, and I think he's good on the points.
I think he can definitely make it happen. He is coming closer and closer. And as we speak, he goes for the overtake on Bits now with that inside line. And now the part coming up that he has messed up. He's coming closer to his teammate Bren actually. So both Solar players actually finding themselves in the bottom positions. Everyone up front is making the jump through the spectator booth. Carl Jr. with a great no-slide line with a small release right there, passing his teammate Carl Jr. now up to 9th place, and he's coming closer to Roland now, goes for the overtake on Roland. Carl Jr. now actually going to the right of the pillar. Roland versus Carl Jr., the fight for the hot seat right now. Dunster on position 7 is already hearing the engines roaring right behind him. Roland versus Carl Jr. still going very strong, entering lap number 6. And now we have the dirt section where Roland can potentially make something happen, but both getting very similar exit speed out of that right-hander on the dirt. Carl Jr. now up to 8th place, but this is still not decided yet.
Both of these two players, I think if they keep up the pace that they're battling with each other right now, they will both be able to overtake.
Oh, Danik B!
with a respawn right there, I think it was, and having to up for that boost and respawn line. As Bits makes another mistake, and now both Carl and Roland are up in the green points, and Bren looking to lose 31 right now. I think he is going to push it a little bit more than we've seen so far.
I think so too, and he can definitely make it happen. I do believe that Brent does have the pace, but Roland definitely not going to give up here. And also Dunster keeping up a pretty good pace here against someone like Carl Jr. That is, yeah, now kind of a bit safer, I would say, now on position number 6. But yeah, one mistake by Carl Jr. again, which can happen anytime, even to someone like Carl Jr. And he's very well back into the reds again. So definitely want to keep an eye out on that. And here we have Roland actually shooting himself up to 7th place. Mid-air overtake on Dunster for that 7th place. So very, very good effort by Roland. He is not giving up, and this is exactly what we want to see here in this race. We can actually go a little further ahead right here, Radiance. We haven't really given some spotlight onto the top players.
Yeah, Pack though, not really any competition for him so far in this race. He is over 3 seconds ahead of number 2 right now, and he is not looking like he's gonna make a mistake. So I think I'm safe to say that I think he's going to take this one. And Kappa though, only 3 points in total, but looking to take home a 2nd place. That is going to be really good for him, as Spam is challenging him, but low exit speed out of that 3rd section there puts him down into 4th place almost, as Cap is knocking on Spam's door. And there he comes.
Yep, there he comes. Knock, knock. And he is actually going for the pass. Cap now with a very, very tight line. Not going to have the greatest speed. Spam is opting for a wider line. Tries to get a bit more speed out of that drift. But it didn't really pay off, actually. So Cap still finding himself roughly 0.2 ahead of Spam. Kappa now going for the safe-ish approach again. Cap with a small bump over the Randstein will lose a little bit of speed, which will allow Spam to come a little bit closer right here in this drift part, but the gaps remain around the same. And then we have Pack, of course, the lead of the race, who did flawlessly, and as I spectate him, he makes a mistake, Radiance. This is actually unbelievable.
He did making a mistake?
Yeah,
wow.
He made a small wall touch, right as I spectated him.
Incredible. I mean, he did make a wall touch on map number 2 as well, and that cost him a little bit for a 3rd place, but one wall touch on this map, I think he's going to be okay still.
Yep.
Almost 2.5 seconds ahead of Kappa in 2nd place right now, and he is still going strong. No real worry for Cap right now, as Cap is still knocking on Kappa's door. Kappa in 2nd.
Yep, Kappa doing really well here. He is actually the only one that goes for the left approach in the top field. Also, Massa is actually going for it.
Well, yeah.
But Massa actually managed to touch the freewheel, which is not what he wants. So the goal of this jump is to, skip the freewheel. Massa now losing out on a lot of speed, actually double bounces here. But he's still pretty far ahead of Carl Jr. Carl Jr. only on 6th place. This is actually one of his worst positions, a 6th place. Like, just speaking that out feels so wrong in the Trackmania Grand League. Carl Jr. is actually like the only player that you can really say that about, because everyone else got at least 9th at some point. Even Peck actually happened to lose his points once. So Carl Jr. only on 6th place. Definitely not going to be happy about that. But at least he can be happy about keeping his points, because otherwise it would have been the best case scenario for Pack, who would be able to take 20 points from this map, and then of course the 29 points that he got before. So yeah, that is quite good for Carl Jr. still. Massa is on 5th place, actually lost a little bit of extra time here. Carl Jr. is coming a little bit closer. And Massa actually keeps struggling right here, Radiance. Look at this. Massa actually with very low speed, and Carl Jr. might go for the overtake here in the air. Massa double bounces again, and this is actually the fight now for position number 5. All of a sudden, this is neck and neck in, and we are in lap 10. We have the final corners coming up now. Massa versus Carl Jr. Who's going to take it right here? Massa still having the upper hand, and he will keep himself in front of Carl Jr. But that could have gone wrong for Massa. Very, very unfortunate happening right here, right in front of the finish. But it will be Pack, of course, winning in front of Kappa, Cap, Spam. So the top 4 remained the same. Bren on 7, Roland on 8th, and then we have Papu, who loses 19 points, Dunster, who loses 11 points, Dexter with 2, Bits with 3, and then we have Zaburs and Machi and Danik B. All 3 of them not going to be able to reach the finish line. Oh, also Bits. Yeah. Not even Bits.
No, probably not Bits, as he horns us a little bit after, or when the time ran out. But Papu losing 19 points, and Dunster losing 11 points for Roland to take home 4 points and save his 0 points he had so far. I think Papu is going to be slightly tilted for that one, but this was map number 4, so we will have this final map coming up right now. And if Carl makes a mistake on this map, it could very well be a big yikes for him, let's say that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have the last map of this step, ladies and gentlemen. Step 7 gonna be concluded with a new map in the map pool. It is the map by Nadeo. It is Mushrooms. Let's take a look at this beautiful track. Alright, so we have Mushrooms, the last track of this evening, step number 7, about to be concluded. And this is a track that is, yeah, for sure interesting, since this one does offer a bunch of very difficult obstacles to be passed. For example, the double neo-slide combination right here around the left bend and the 180 hairpin to the right, where speed is very, very important, because you need every tiny little bit of speed that you can get out of that drift in order to land properly on the white sculpture. If you don't have enough speed, you will land pretty much on the downhill, on the slope, which is going to be a big momentum killer, and that can cause some pretty bad landings. So you want to get enough speed that you land on the flat part of the white sculpture, and then also the dirt section having a very, very wonky exit. You come out of the right-hander at a very, very high speed, actually, and you have only a very, very small margin to work with, where you need to squeeze yourself in between the pole and the barrier on the right side. The landing will be very decisive, so I am pretty sure that we will see a bunch of mistakes happening at those sections, and perhaps it will happen to the players that have gotten the big points. Keep in mind, even Carl Jr. can make mistakes.
Yeah, nothing is said and done, and especially when we're talking about this map. This map is so difficult to get right. And we are about to go into lap number 1. Let's follow someone like Masa for the start. I think he is going to take a lead here or make a mistake. And what's that?
That was Dexter with a no slide. Yeah, Dexter with a no slide.
Dexter with a no slide. That's this. Very unfortunate. Kappa, Bits, and Masa taking home 1, 2, 3 right now. Rolling with a lot of speed for the jump, but messes up quite a bit. Actually jumps too far onto the ledge and then has a bad angle, so he'll drop down a little bit again. But Kappa, best out of the start so far. Masa with a bit of a different line, takes some more speed and needs to release in the air to not land on the border. Nice by him. And Kappa, and then Pack taking home top 3 right now.
Yeah, very, very close. Lap 1 right here. No one really having made a big mistake. We see, oh wait, who was that? I think someone respawned. Pack. Oh boy, we have the first one here. We called it right here. Pack with a respawn. I saw someone who jumped a little too much left and almost fell off the track, and that was actually Pack, the player from the United Kingdom, from Gamers Origin, right now on position number 13. But I wouldn't say this is gonna be very bad for him, because I am pretty certain that, similar to Carl Jr. on the previous map, he's also gonna recover from this. So let's see what he's gonna do. Even though that was, I believe, a small wall touch on his side again.
That was. He's not gonna have
he's not gonna jump. Yep, not gonna jump smoothly into the slope. So Pack with an additional speed loss, a little bit of time loss right there for the British player. But then again, there's still a lot to come and a lot to be happening. So let's maybe move a little further ahead. We can have a look at Spam. The Dutch player for the Fuse Kids has gotten 4 green positions, and he wants to round it off with a 5th one. He got 6th on map 1, 4th on map 2, 3rd on map 3, 4th on map 4, and now only on 8th, but always with potential for more. As we are coming to the double Neo Slide section, Massa probably being the only one who is actually not going for a Neo Slide because he simply doesn't do it. Oh, maybe Pack
doesn't do it as well.
Oh, I see Cap actually.
A lot of speed for the jump.
I see Cap actually struggling with the landing. So exactly what I was talking about earlier. Cap having an unfortunate landing on the sculpture, and that is gonna push him very, very far back. The player from France who got 12 points in his pocket would lose them all.
Pack, as you are talking there, he made a small mistake on that 3rd jump onto the booster with the pole in the middle, and actually dropped down from 9th into 12th place. Just now overtook for 11th, and with a small cut there that is allowed, goes up into a 10th place again, I believe that is. As he is battling it out with Papu. Actually 9th place, so someone has made a big mistake. And Dunsty now on the hunt for Pack.
Yep, this is neck and neck between the 2 teammates. Papu going too wide right here, and this is the part. This is exactly what I was talking about. Look at the landing. Look how much momentum you lose by just smashing yourself onto the uphill. This is what you want to prevent. So it will be Papu now dropping down to 12th place as a result. And Pack will now come dangerously close to Dunster. They are now neck and neck going up the hill. Pack with a small drift. Dunster will actually not do it. And this is just how big of a difference a well-timed drift around a small bend like that can make. Pack now up to 8th place. And the points are secured for now. But Kappa with a respawn. He did apparently, or at least I'm guessing, that he made a mistake at the little shortcut there. Yep. Where you can skip the downhill jumps right there. So, Kappa losing a bunch of positions and drops down to 9th place.
Yeah, Kappa now in 9th place, looking to lose 15 points. Cap looking to lose 12, so they will definitely have to get on their grind to go up into those green positions. But that is very difficult on this track when they are a little far behind already. Kappa actually overtakes Dunsty, who made a small mistake. But look at Roland in the top.
Yep.
Definitely not on tilt now. So
absolutely
whatever
not.
troubles he has had, either mentally or with a controller or keyboard or whatever he's using, it is definitely over now. But Twitch chat can show love to the players, of course. We haven't mentioned that yet, and now they need it a lot. So you can type go space and then the competitor's name. So if you want to vote for Roland, you go done or go space
Bren,
Roland, and then you will get some hearts in the game. What happened to Bren?
Well said, Mr. Radiance. But we have Bren, who made a big mistake, and he falls off. He falls off, and Bren will drop down to the red positions for sure. Bren will drop down super far back. Bren with multiple mistakes in a succession. Bren down to 11th place, falling behind Cap. So we have 2 players with 10 points plus. Cap with 12 and Bren with 36. Both looking to lose their points, and we are in lap number 6 already. Bren with another terrible landing will even get passed by Machi right here. So Bren will actually be greeted with a very bad fate right here on the map, on the last map, on map number 5. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. 36 points. That is a lot of points to lose. So this man is a man on a mission. He is probably gonna do it a little bit riskier than he is used to in his training, as he is in 11th place. That's about 5 seconds up to 8th place. And he of course has only 3 laps to do it, so a lot of time to be gained now for Bren. But Roland though.
Yeah, look at
3
Roland.
seconds ahead of Carl Jr.
Look
right
at that.
He has definitely practiced this map right now.
Look at that. Roland is on a roll. No pun intended. Roland is now approaching the 8th lap right here, and he has accumulated a 2.8 second gap over Carl Jr. Roland will for sure print that onto his tombstone, I think. That is an absolutely phenomenal performance by Roland right now. He is really, really doing well right here on this track. Gets... Oh, the landing!
Oh, no!
Roland! What do you mean? Roland does a
We
wheelie
jinxed him.
and yeets himself out of the track. This is unbelievable. I'm out of here, Roy. Radiance, you can continue. I'm out. I'm out, man.
That is really unfortunate stuff for Roland, to say the least. Now in 7th place, I think we might have jinxed him a little bit too hard there.
Oh, come on.
We are definitely sorry, Roland. Please do not hurt us after this TMGL is over. But that is so unfortunate for Roland. Looking to take home 1st place, 100 euros and 20 points to his name. But really unfortunate wheelie from Roland there. Looked great though, 10 out of 10 for style.
Yeah,
but,
I mean...
that is probably not what he wanted.
Definitely not. But yeah, we gotta calm down after that one. Carl Jr. now being the one. He's having that big smile on his face now. He's gonna be like, ah, bonjour, 100 euro again. Very nice. He's gonna be like, ah, I take it. I take it. So he has a 3.2 second gap over Spam now. So that is definitely something to work with. Spam is on 2nd, Massa is on 3rd, Kappa on 4th. So we have pretty big gaps between the players. The top 8 is separated by 15 seconds. Roland can be happy, quote unquote, to still be in the green positions. But I believe he is gonna cry in a corner listening to Justin Bieber and put black lipstick on his lips. And be very sad about this after the race. That was his victory. That was his victory. That was like Leclerc on the last Formula 1 race,
no.
I think.
True. Definitely true. But I mean, taking a look now, Bren is in 9th place. As Roland now finds himself in 8th place after a bit of tilt after the beautiful wheelie. But I think the song Roland will be listening to is not Justin Bieber, it might be Spammy JJ's diss track on you, Riolu.
Oh, yeah.
But Dunsty now with a respawn, and that's gonna put Cap up into number 8th place now.
Yeah, Cap will maybe save himself from...
And it's the last lap.
Yeah, he might actually keep himself in the lead, but Cap hits the pillar! And it is Bren that is gonna capitalize on that. Bren will now keep his 36 points unless something else happens. But the next player is really far behind. So Carl Jr. will win it here. Another 100 euro for him. Spam on 2nd, Massa on 3rd. And then we have Kappa on 4th place. Pack on 5th. Roland, Papu, I mean, first of all, on 6th. Then we have Roland on 7th. No, Roland actually down to 8th. Wait, what? No, Roland on 8th. Alright, I'm confused.
Roland on 8th.
Yeah,
yes.
Roland on 8th.
Cap in 9th place. Machi in 11th as Dunsty overtakes him, but that is not too big of a point difference. Cap, though, the big loser here, lost 12 points, and he is not to be spectated anymore. But Danik B now in 12th place. Biz in 13th, Seburst in 14th, and Dexter, unfortunately, DNFing here, so he'll take no points from this step.
Indeed. So that was a very interesting race. Kind of as expected. This map, of course, being very difficult, and a lot of mistakes have happened. And yeah, of course, no words about what happened to Roland. That was just yeah. I think we gotta take a talk here with Hylas to yeah, fix that. But yeah, that was really sad, of course. But yeah, the step ranking, step number 7 will be won by Carl Jr. Once again, 78 points for his account. Pack on 2nd with 56. Spam, after an amazing 5th track, will go up to 3rd place with 44. Bren will lose out on his 2nd spot that he had temporarily throughout this 7th step. He's down to 4th place with 41. Massa with 26. Kappa with 23. Papu up to 7th place with 9 points. Roland with 8. Cap down to 9th place with 3 points. Dunster with 3 as well. Machi and Danik B both with 2 points. And then we have Bits and Zaburst with 1. Dexter with 0 points. For the league ranking, that will mean that Carl Jr. will, of course, extend his lead. He's now up to 481 points and has won... Yeah, I think now it is above 1,000 euro that he won in total. So that's a pretty good outcome for him already. Pack down to second, 334 points for him. Bren, 188. Spam is now coming dangerously close to Bren, though, after the step. Now only 12 points between third and fourth place. Kappa down to fifth place with 155. Papu, 106. Scrappy, of course, after not attending the step, down to seventh place with 97. Cap with 95. Rollin, of course, he deserved a lot more than that. Only 76 for him. He could have come very close to Scrappy here. But, yeah. That was, of course, very, very unfortunate for Rollin. Danik B with 35. Massa up to 11th place now with 27. But he still needs to make something happen in the upcoming steps in order to qualify for the playoffs. Dexter with 24. Dunster with 23. Bits with 21. Subburst with 8. And Machi with 8 as well.
Yeah, that's going to conclude it for us, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, any final words? Was that meeting your expectations, kind of, or?
Oh, this last map, it was great memes, but very unfortunate stuff for Rollin. I think him taking home, I believe it would have been his first victory of a TMGL map here, taken away by a he called it a buck. Which is very unfortunate for him, but he definitely knows now that he can do it if he just trains enough on some of these difficult maps, and definitely a player that is capable to do it. So yeah, I think if Rollin keeps it up, he'll be able to take home a couple of euros maybe.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to step it up for step 8 and redeem himself for what happened here on the mushrooms track. So yeah, I think that was quite a turbulent step, I would say, with a lot of things happening. So that is gonna keep up the hype for step number 8, which will be played in 2 weeks of time. Thank you for giving me company once again, Radiance. Much appreciate that. And yeah, without further ado, that will conclude step number 7. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the cast. And we will see you in 2 weeks. That will be the 28th of April, 8 PM CEST, twitch.tv/ManiaPlanet. Don't miss out. Be there or be square. And now, have a good evening.
See you guys.